So the view from atop the spectator area on the exit of Iredale's hairpin, you can see the bark gravel traps there with the pools of water in. That just shows you just how much. Oh dear, that's Mr. Stewart's. That is, with the jade top on.
Was, yes.
Walking out and looking up there, and there are spits of rain. There are 33 Junior X30. Oh, puddle watch. Oh yes.
Oh dear.
Drip, drip, drop. Little
dear.
April showers. Dun, 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 dun,
What have I
dun,
told you
dun,
about
dun,
singing,
dun.
Henry?
But I've got to get more singing in, because I couldn't sing to you at Larkhall. You know what I get like when I can't sing to you, Anthony. Please tell us who's starting where.
Let's do that, shall we?
There you go.
Here's the grid then. Harry Burgoyne Jr. starting on pole position. Strawberry Racing. Sam Shaw, premium karting driver, alongside the best start I think we're going to see from Sam Shaw this season so far. Dan Ginchard will start on the second row in position 3, with Marcus Luzio alongside Phil McLaughlin and Oliver Stewart round out row number 3. Archie Walker and Olivier Algieri on row number 4, with Harvey Ryby and Lorenzo Cordell on row number 5. Jessica Edgar and Bart Harrison, the 3-plate, the seeded driver, starting in 12th place on row 6. Gabriel Stilp and Josh Agambar on row 7, with Kanato Lee and Brandon Carr on row 8. Milo Pilfold and Nathan Clifford round out row 9, with Matthew Hyde and Aidan Lynn rounding up the top 20 on row 10. Mackay Singh and Brandon Templeton on row 11, with Jack Cox and Joseph Rippin on row 12. Freddie Allen and Reese Newburn on row 13, with Sienna Gordon and Reese Lomax, the Classic Motorsport driver, on row 14. Kian Gohill and David McIntyre on row 15, with Harry Cottrell, Charlie Rippin, Charlie Webb and Connor Duncan, who is not taking part in this race, but is watching from the sidelines, round out the grid on row 17.
So, championship positions coming into today. Dan Ginchard on 599 points. Oh dear. Oh no. The white egg. Don't believe. I don't Adam and Eve it. Milo.
Yeah.
I mean, we were debating whether he was going to go with the wrapped helmet, not the painted helmet, the wrapped helmet, the Mini Herb wrapped helmet, or he was going to be the white egg. He said about the white. Maybe the white egg would bring him more luck, but no, not the case. Here we go, though, lights are green. We're off and racing 32 junior drivers. Oh, and Olivier Algieri sideways over the curbs through the first chicane. He had a bit of help there, but he managed to hold on. And again, oh no, that could be a big one. Watch out, boys and girls. Oh dear, that is a big one. And there's a driver upside down there. Camera cuts away. Let's have a look. So that, good to see who it was. I think it was a purple and white cart, but the driver was moving around under the cart. There were several other drivers, and the yellow flags are out. So the yellow flags are out at the moment. There's past Milo Pilfold standing at the side of the circuit. There's 5 or 6 carts off at the side of the track. Drivers up and out. There's one driver being attended to on the track surface. We've got 40 minutes to go. We're going to come out there now. Let's have a look. Sam Shaw has the race lead. Sam Shaw has the race lead. So Harry Burgoyne Jr. has fallen back a little bit. So this is the Battenberg flags. So it is Harry Burgoyne Jr., then it's Sam Shaw. So I apologise. The poles have managed to hold on to the race lead. Marcus Luzio runs third. Dan Ginchard is fourth. Now, out of the race, we've got Brandon Carr has not come round. Nathan Clifford has not come round. Neither has Aidan Lynn, Reese Lomax or Charlie Rippin. It was Nathan Clifford in the number 32 cart that was upside down. The cart is now obviously has been righted. The driver who was by there on the circuit has now been moved aside. There at the back of the field is Reese Lomax and Charlie Rippin have gone through. So Nathan Clifford in the KR Sport number 32 that was upside down, he is now out of the cart and has been moved away. So he's walked away, and that is a good sign. So we haven't gone to a red flag. We're still racing. The time is still ticking down. Brandon Carr for Fusion Motorsports has just crossed the line. No, he hasn't. So we Nathan Clifford, Aidan Lynn and Brandon Carr out of the race. Clifford is okay. At the back of the pack, Reese Lomax, Charlie Rippin have been delayed, but they are still running after that incident. The order is Burgoyne Jr., Shaw, Luzio, Ginchard and Oliver Stewart.
So
and I think as we're still waiting, the track is clear, so the drivers are okay. We can now have a little look back to see what happened if we did catch that. We're going to be going green. We're going to be going green again, so we may look back there. But the main thing is the drivers are all okay. Well, we're not going to go back there.
It sounded like we were going to go.
It was a very, very sketchy start. Olivier Algieri in the number 38 Dan Holland kart, he got sort of pushed wide at the start, and then he continued to be pushed wide. Let's have a look at that again as they came out of the first corner. So as they come to the start, watch for the Dan Holland kart about fourth back on the right-hand side. Now, comes in, he gets forced a little bit wide. That pushes him offline coming through there. He's still trying to scramble back online. As they come out of the first corner, Algieri is still wide, and then he gets sent across the circuit, and then we wait for, and at the back there, people trying to jump over each other. That's what happened to Clifford. So he obviously clipped Brandon Carr, but he's okay. People watching back home.
Yes, so again, it looked like a lot of terminal damage there for Brandon.
Brandon Carr out of the race, Nathan Clifford, Aidan Lynn out of the race. There is Connor Clifford walking back. I think that's Connor Clifford walking back. Yeah, that is good to see. He's okay. Right. Now, next time around, I would imagine we're going to get the green flag. We've got 11.5 minutes to go. We have 29 drivers still in the race. The points table: Ginchard, Walker, Harrison, Stewart and Algieri. Olivier Algieri is down in 25th position. Lucky to still be in the race, and we've gone green with 11 minutes to go, Anthony.
Yep, green flags back out. Race restarted with, like you said, 11 minutes to go, plus that one additional lap into the section where we just had the Battenberg flag come out for that collision. But everyone through this time around, side by side. Stewart down the inside, the 17, gets that job done.
Yep.
Out they go.
And so at the back of the pack there, we've got somebody coming out there. That's Rhys Lomax.
It looked like Rhys Lomax.
It's been a tough weekend for the Klassen Motorsport team. I was speaking to Ash Klassen, who said, "Henry," just like that, that's how she speaks. She went, "You've got to try and make it sound fast." I said, "Well, unfortunately, it did not really happen." But Rhys has never been here before. That chassis, that ARC chassis, has never been here before. It's been a tough one. There goes John Stewart. Now he's a man on a mission.
John Stewart or Oliver Stewart?
Oliver Stewart. John Stewart's the team boss. Oliver Stewart
is the driver.
Looking for 3 wins in a row. Now, I mean, the only 2 drivers that have ever won 3 finals in the Junior X30 class, Oliver Gray and Oliver Greenall. John Stewart has won 2 finals and looking to win 3. And I mean, it might be worth remembering that Oliver Gray and Oliver Greenall, they've only got 3 wins. They're the last 2 champions. So if you win 3 races in this class, then you're almost, you're not guaranteed a championship, but Oliver Stewart's got a bit of ground to make up, and he's certainly the form person at the moment on that number 17 Jade kart.
Now, I was just watching these 2 drivers here at the front, Ginchard and Shaw. Now, they were throwing some very fierce gestures at each other, just saying, "Yes, okay, now follow me." It's just like, "Yes, I know, go."
Well, yes, that's because Harry Burgoyne
is clocking out.
He's clocking out.
Yeah, he is indeed clocking out. Here comes Stewart, though, on the back of Sam Shaw. Sam Shaw's not going to like this if he goes for a lunge, because you saw how furious he was when Ginchard got past. But let's see how he reacts if Oliver Stewart does manage to get past, because Shaw, very quick driver out there. He just wants to catch up to that race leader, and that's what he's trying to do. But these other drivers are making it impeccably difficult for that to happen as they go through. 9 minutes to go. Down the inside there. Who was that? That looked like Lorenzo Cordell to me.
Yep, number 20.
Yep, Marcus Uccio as well. Just behind there is Mr.
The number 12 is Gabriel Stillman.
Yeah.
The number 3 goes. So Algieri in the number 38 kart. He's trying to come back through. And also, you've got the number 3 kart of Bart Harrison. So Harrison started behind Cordell and Olivier Algieri. So he's been held up. Now he's going to try and... This Bart Harrison, the double podium finisher last year at Rowrah. There were two rounds. It was a double header at Rowrah last year. Harrison on the podium both times. He's got a lot of work to do and not much time. He's 15th at the moment to try and make it 3 podiums in the last 3 visits. Dan Ginchard now getting into his stride and setting a new fastest lap. The gap between him and Burgoyne was 1.5 seconds at the start of the lap. On the left-hand side of your screen, they've gone to the first split of lap number 6, and it's down by a tenth to 1.4.
Yep, so that gap closing in. 8 minutes to go. That's all we want to see is a close battle for the lead. There is the 18, Jack Cox, a very famous picture that we saw from Kart Masters where he's upside down.
Yes.
But then it flipped it back over and kept going.
Excellent work. So
it was, yeah.
Yes, I mean, Sam Shaw still yet to win a final in Junior X30. He's got a couple of runner-up finishes, couple of podiums, but hasn't got the win just yet. Is it worth having a little look as we reach the halfway point of this race at the current championship positions?
Yes,
courtesy
indeed.
of Motorsport timing. Dan
There they
Ginchard leads now, but but look at Oliver Stewart. Oliver Stewart working his way into second place. There go Kanato Lee picking up a place on Fia McLaughlin. So Oliver Stewart passing Archie Walker in the championship. Bart Harris is still fourth, but Ginchard, again, that consistency just still piling on those points. We're at the point of the season where Ginchard doesn't necessarily need to win every race. He just needs to be in and around his rival, as Walker losing a place there to the MDL kart of Jack Cox, rather.
Yep, Mackay Singh as well getting involved in this one. Right there, you can see the 76 right behind the 71 on your screen of Harvey Ryby. They go up the chicane there, but Burgoyne Jr. responds with a fastest lap of the race, 48.52. That gap is now back up to 1.5 seconds as they go round. So Ginchard not closing in as fast as he would be liking to. That made sense, didn't it?
Oh, there's Olivier Algeri now. He's obviously got his... He's got his dander up, I think is the word to say, because he was he was nerfed off at the start. Then he did get turned around. He had karts flipping all around him. He was in a good position. He had a couple of rough rounds as Olivier Algeri. He was talking to Kim Bolton. He said, "Look, I just don't get it round here. I'm not quick. I don't get. Lark Hall was okay, and here he's been on the pace, and then he finds himself forced out of things through no fault of his own. So he is being aggressive, and Archie Walker is having none of it.
Yep.
Wheel to wheel, tyre smoke as they come through the first chicane at the start of lap number 10 with 6 minutes to go.
Yep, good stuff there. And getting that job done as well. Sliding back into position. Oliver Stewart, fastest lap of the race. Now up into P3, has managed to get past Sam Shaw. Sam Shaw now into 4th place, as we see there. Premium Karting's driver. Dive down the inside.
Archie Walker just sort of said, right, I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
Yep. Olivier Algeri sort of waving his hands around the place. He's dropped a few positions. There's number 42 kart, Harry Cottrell, for the S8 Racing crew. S8 Racing, there's not as many S8 Racing drivers in the championship this year as has been in years past, but Harry Cottrell really having a strong one. Algeri's all over the place now. He's lost his cool a little bit as Olivier, and he wants to be careful because he's still got time to sort of refocus and move back up. And here's a battle. Here is a battle coming into McRae's. The leaders are going up the hill, but that is Fia McLaughlin. Gabriel Stilp in the 12 kart. There's the 11 of Marcus Luzio. Jessica Edgar is there in the number 47 kart. This is her home track. The family car dealership is literally up the road. These 5 karts all being led by the number 20 Cato Motorsport machine of Lorenzo Cordal, who's doing a fantastic job in the top 6. Lorenzo, 17th the championship. This is by far and away his best result. I mean, looking at the list of penalties from the nose cone penalties, from the pre-final, Harvey Ryby, Algeri, Cordal, Harrison, Carr, Clifford. I mean, they go on to 2 pages. There was, that first race, the top 7. There was 8, 9, 10, 11. There were 12 drivers in that first pre-final that did not get a nose cone penalty, which says quite a bit about the way that race went. Fia McLaughlin at the inside to pick up a place there.
Yep.
4 minutes to go.
Yep, just getting past Lorenzo Cordal there, moving up into P6. Like you say, 4 minutes to go, plus that 1 additional lap. Oh, Jack Cox, 5-second time penalty in the number 18, currently running in 11th place. That is not what you need in the final, is it?
No, Archie Walker's dropped down to 15th. Bart Harrison is still 16th. I mean, Micah Singh is up into 13th position. Great result so far for the number 76 Dan Holland Racing kart. We've got action at the front.
Yeah, Stewart's managed to move up into 2nd place and is clawing in Burgoyne Jr. Stewart, here you would say there's not been a 3rd place or 3 finishes in a row for a while.
Yeah, and the only drivers that have ever won 3 finals in the Junior X30 class, the 2019 champion Oliver Gray and the 2020 champion Oliver Greenall. If Oliver Stewart, he's got the right first name.
Oh yeah, he's got the right first name.
Seriously, if he wins, if he'll become the third 3-time Junior X30 winner in the championship. Both the previous 2 went on to win the championship. Now, of course, Dan Ginchard thinks, well, they would like something to say about that, but that would be incredible. Name symmetry. Harry Burgoyne has also got something to say about that.
Why, yes.
Now, we spoke to Harry last weekend at Kart Masters, and when he spoke to him, he was a little bit down in the dumps.
Yeah.
It turns out that's because he knew he had his tyre on the wrong way round and he was going to get excluded.
Oh.
But you weren't to know that.
No.
Or Chris McCarthy wasn't to know that. And the viewer wasn't to know that. We were saying, why is Harry Burgoyne not very happy? And he was like, it turns out I knew my tyre had been put on the wrong way round. So I said, when I spoke to him yesterday, I said, right, if Anthony interviews this weekend, you must do happy and do his little jig.
Yes.
And he went, no.
No.
Well, anyway, but he's leading. The number 68 from a family of hardened stock car racers.
Yeah.
The Burgoyne, the short oval Brisker Formula 2 stock cars, the Burgoyne famous family racing name, and young Harry is following in the family tradition here by doing very well. But Oliver Stewart just come to life, He
has, yeah. He's slowly clawing that gap. It's now down another 2 tenths. 1.2 seconds is the gap now between Burgoyne Jr. and Stewart. Stewart is slowly reeling him in. Now, of course, Stewart had a disaster at Kart Masters as well because he came across that line thinking he'd won his final and unfortunately didn't know about the penalty that he got at the start of the race.
But, we talk about, Jade dominated the senior X30 class for the last 2 years with Danny Curl.
Yeah.
But up until Lark Hall, no Jade racing driver had ever stepped on the podium in a junior X30 final. That's all changed now, and suddenly it looks like, the red and white Birrell Arts Jade Racing Team Army is the wagon to be on. We've still got a Tony Kart lead in this race with Strawberry Racing's Harry Burgoyne Jr. A minute to go, Anthony. The gap is 1 second. It's coming down. We're looking at split times. Last lap 15 for Harry Burgoyne Jr. 48.06. Oliver Stewart 47.82.
Archie Walker with a 5-second time penalty. That's not going to go down well in the KR Sport tent. But back here at the front, like you say, that gap now less than a second. There's still going to be 2 laps left of racing in this. Oh, goodness me, what could happen between these two?
Lorenzo Cordal and Marcus Luzio having a great scrap over 7th place. Kanato Lee is into 6th. 5th is Fionn McLaughlin. Now looking back further back here, Walker 16th, Joseph Rippin is 17th, Webb is 18th, Charlie Rippin is 19th, Josh Agambar rounding out the top 20, Algieri 21st, Harry Cottrell 22nd, Reese Lomax on his making his debut at Rowrah 23rd, Templeton 24th, Gohill 25th, Newburn 26th, Sienna Gordon 27th, David McIntyre 28th, Freddie Allam is 29th. So everyone who survived the first lap is still in the race. And Harry Burgoyne, he won 3 times in Cadet IAME back in 2019. He had 1 podium in his debut Junior X30 season last year. And he's had another 3rd place finish at the first final on the Saturday at Lark Hall this year so far. But he has never done any better than that until now. Final lap board is out. Harry Burgoyne Jr. under pressure from Oliver Stewart. Dan Ginchard watching on. Can Burgoyne hold on? This is where the nerves come in. This has been a long time coming now for Harry Burgoyne Jr. from one of the most successful cadets in the championship. Then a tough first learning season in Junior X30. Now it's coming together, but he can't put a wheel wrong. Through the Stewart S's, he'll crest the rise and dip down towards St John's Bend. We've had plenty of people cheering on the Scottish drivers on the live chat. Well, one of Scotland's finest is a corner away. Paddock Hill Bend. Now down the hill towards the start-finish line. It is Harry Burgoyne Jr. who has the race win. 2nd for Oliver Stewart, 3rd for Dan Ginchard. Sam Shaw is 4th. 5th is Fionn McLaughlin. Lorenzo Cordal is 6th. Luzio 7th. Kanato Lee is 8th. Stilp is 9th. Then it's Ryby, Edgar, Cox. They're crossing the line. Oh, one of the premium karting drivers holding their heads. They come on. There's number 45 finishing there. Fist bump from Kian Gohill. He finishes 25th. And Harry Burgoyne Jr. Well, we may not get a little Highland fling or a jig from Harry Burgoyne, but I guarantee you that when Anthony Jordan makes his way over to speak to the winners in the Parc Fermé at the end of this one, we will see a big beaming smile from young Harry. It's a Scottish 1-2. Oliver Stewart finishes 2nd. Dan Ginchard for Argenti Motorsport finishes in 3rd place. Looking down the order there, the main thing of that race is that Nathan Clifford is okay after flipping his kart. There is there just behind the score is what's left of the number 32 KR Sport machine. And yeah, Nathan has long since departed back and wandered back to the paddock. But yeah, so, you know, metal you can fix and plastic you can bend back into shape, bodies you can't. There is Gary Walker and Paul Klassen, the scrutineering team. Klassen moves the drivers into positions 1, 2 and 3. Here's Harry Burgoyne Jr. There's Oliver Stewart. And a little way back will be Dan Ginchard. Ginchard still leads the point standings. Difference in driving. Stewart, much taller, you know, of the two drivers. Handshakes all round, good to see. Anthony Jordan is legging his way across the circuit. There's a smile, well, sort of a smile. Come on, Harry. Will Davis from Motorsport UK Media Department. He's taking the photos ready to be put onto social media. Of course, Chris Walker from kartpics.net taking all the official photographs that you will see on the various websites and publications around the world. Ginchard just didn't quite have the pace. Yesterday, when it was wet, Dan Ginchard was up the road. But has to play second fiddle or third fiddle here to pair of Scottish drivers, the rest of the field coming in. There's a view, and Anthony Jordan there in the foreground. Not quite sure what he's doing. He's holding his microphone. He's kneeling down. Oh, that's the best side of Anthony Jordan you can see, has to be said, as he bends over there. I'm only joking, DJ. He can't hear me. I can say what I like about him. Sam Shaw finishing 4th place. It just, again, he didn't have the pace of the leaders, and he looked a bit frustrated as he crossed the line. And there's the rest of the drivers sort of getting out of their kart. So yeah, so the far right-hand side of the screen, you know, hands on his hips there. You know, Dan Holland race suit down around his waist. That's Olivier Algieri chatting to, I think it must be his dad over the Nando over the Naldo over the barrier there. In fact, is that Naldo pushing the Wera Tools barrier down? Banner? Well, no, he'll be okay. Saves Will Davis a job later on, I suppose. We look the other members of the field. There's Bart Harrison just taking his helmet off, but Anthony Jordan has finally caught up with Harry Burgoyne Jr.
Yes, thank you, Henry. Yes, Mr. Burgoyne Jr. once again, we're chatting to you, but standing on that front spot again. What a final that was. It looked controlled, but talk us through the start, because it seemed like a bit of a busy start.
Yeah, at the start I got a good gap in the first lap, and then the Battenberg came out, so I was a bit annoyed, but in the Battenberg I got a gap again and managed to lead the race all the way through.
Now, talk us about your experience here at Rowrah, because it's a fantastic circuit, very twisty, a lot different to most of the circuits that we come to in the UK, very undulating. Is it one of your favourite circuits? Is it up there in your top 10?
Probably, yeah. Yeah. So, I think it's a good track. It's just hard leading out front when you've not got anyone to follow. It's just a good race.
Now, of course, with the championship nearing the end, we're about halfway through the championship now. Of course, Dan is leading the way at the moment, but eating into that one. Are you looking forward to the end of the season? Do you reckon you could catch Dan?
Yeah, I reckon I could catch him and try and win the championship.
Excellent, that's what we'd like to hear. Anyone you'd like to thank?
My mum, dad, Strawberry Racing, Shocks Performance, and all my fans at home.
Excellent, well done, Harry Burgoyne Jr. on another race win.
Cheers.
Excellent stuff there from our race winner. Let's bring Oliver Stewart over. Oliver, come forth, come forth. Well, what a final for you that was, because it looked like you just lit the candle out of nowhere there and the power came to you. The waft in that Jade racing kart came to you and, yeah, slowly pulled that gap in.
Yeah, I wanted to give them a good result after last weekend's disappointment. You know, the team deserved that win and so did I, but that's the way it goes. And to be honest, the kart was set up perfectly. Harry got a good gap at the start and I managed to try and reel him in, but it was too late, unfortunately.
I mean, it's still a second place, a great result for you. Again, you were talking about last weekend at Kart Masters, yeah, a disaster, but don't think of that as a downside to it, because you showed great performance there this weekend, great performance here this weekend. It's still good things yet to come. In terms of the championship, it's closing in as well, second in the championship standings, closing that gap now to Mr. Ginchard as well. What do we think for the end of the season?
Well, it's a double header, so there's a lot of chances to score a lot of points. it'll definitely be a close one. You know, I'm confident I can still win, but it'll be a hard one coming from second, and I think 20 odd points behind, but we'll see.
Excellent stuff. Well, a great result there. Second place for you today here at Rowrah. Well done, Oliver Stewart.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank Jade Racing for their meticulous preparation all weekend, all my sponsors, and my family sitting back at home.
Excellent. Glad you remembered that because I totally forgot to ask. Well done, Oliver Stewart there. Excellent. Mr. Ginshaw, come forth, come forth, come forth. Come all the way over. Well, there we go then. You've had a pretty quick weekend all the way out. You've been pretty quick. Struggled in that one, but your pace here today has just been absolutely fantastic, on point, and still great performance, managing to put it on P3.
Yeah, I mean, the pace wasn't the strongest we could have been, but, you know, it's just still really good points. So by the end of the weekend, I've actually extended my championship lead, so that's all I was really looking to do.
Well, yeah, you have done that as well, but yeah, halfway through the season now, still plenty of rounds to go. It's going to be a tough old season, but at the moment, you're looking comfortable still.
You know, it's never comfortable. It's looking positive at the moment. See if we can carry that through to the end of the season.
No, excellent. And again, talk us through that start of the race from your point of view, because again, you were there on the second row of the grid. You may have seen a little bit more, but yeah, when that Battenberg flag came out, it was a bit of a hectic start, I'd say. Yeah,
I think Harry really nailed this restart, which is fair play to him. You know, he got a gap, and we were all fighting for second while he could get away. But you know, it was quite clean. You know, the marshals and officials did a great job always.
Excellent stuff. Anyone you'd like to thank ahead of this weekend?
I'd like to thank Kart Republic, Argenti Motorsport, Curtis Gregory, Aventus Power, Danny Sweeney, and Puma.
Excellent. You've said that before, haven't you?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, excellent stuff on a third place finish for Dan Ginshaw.
Thank you.
Excellent stuff. Well, exciting races from the Junior X30s. Plenty more coming up because now it's time for the Senior X30s.
Okay, now we move on to Junior X30, the podium presentation here at Rowrah. We have the Leading Privateer Award. The Leading Privateer Award goes to David McIntyre, who I don't think is... Oh, yes, he is. Hey, well done, David. First time in the British Championships. Leading Privateer, if you just want to stand by there. Sorry, I've got a bit ahead of myself. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Now we move on to the leading rookie. And finishing in 10th place, the leading rookie, Matthew Hyde. Nope. So excited, he's gone home. Top 3 time, finishing in 3rd position, the championship leader, Dan Ginshard. Yeah. Second place now, a Scottish 1-2, and finishing in P2, moving up to P2 in the championship, it's Oliver Stewart. And now we move ahead, our winner. It's his first win in the British Championship in Junior X30, along with the winning mechanic, Harry Burgoyne Sr., your winner, Harry Burgoyne Jr. Now, Harry, where's Senior? Where's Dad? Dad's got to come. I know, I've told him, he's got Harry Senior. There's a spot on the podium. Now, we did speak to Harry, we'll speak to him again. Harry, you did promise that you'd do a jig for me.
I don't know.
You did. Okay, tell us, bring that down a little bit. First of all, the last time you won one of these races, it was in Cadet IAME 2 years ago, on the podium last year. Now we're on top. How does it feel that you've worked so hard to get on the podium in this new class, now you're on the top step?
Yeah, it's all right, just... got their own, just got through.
Oh, it's all right, you got through it. Oh, fair enough. I mean, that's not about, you know, Dan and Oliver was closing in the end, but you controlled that one really from start to finish.
Yeah, it's hard when someone's following you and you're getting pressured and then you start making little mistakes, but managed to hold it.
Okay, will you do a jig for me the next time you win and I interview you?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, congratulations. Your Junior X30 podium and winner, Harry Burgoyne Jr.